Hey, what's going on, guys? Welcome back to another video. In this video, I'm going to be doing a March Madness bracket. March Madness is one of my favorite things ever. All the, underdog stories, the Cinderella stories, watching all these teams compete for the championship is great. I've loved it for a long time, and I was kind of upset that we didn't get a March Madness tournament last year, but good thing we're getting one this year. So let's get started. In the West Division, we have Gonzaga as number 1, Iowa number 2, Kansas at number 3, Virginia at number 4. I mean, I'm going to get this out of the way already. I'm going to hit all the number 1 seeds are going to win. And there's only been one number 16 team that upset the number 1 seed, and that was, who was it? Oh, UMBC beat Virginia back in 2018. I remember watching that game, and I was very, very shocked by that outcome. Right, and then the next game is the Oklahoma versus Missouri. Now, I am a diehard Missouri fan. I'm a Missouri fan for college basketball, college football, anything college-wise. But this is, this one's a hard one to choose, because the homer in me wants to pick Missouri, but Oklahoma is a good team as well. You can't sleep on Oklahoma. Man. I'm going to go with Missouri. It pains me to do that. Okay, and then the next one is Creighton versus University of California, Santa Barbara. I didn't even know that was a college until just now. Creighton's always been a good team in college basketball. But the number 5 and number 12 matchup is always one of the big upset ones. Man, I there's no way I pick against Creighton in this one. Go with them. And then the next one, Virginia versus Ohio. Go with Virginia on that one. And then the next one is USC versus Wichita or Drake. I'm gonna go with USC on this one. The next is Kansas East Washington. Kansas didn't start out too hot this year. They ended up losing 8 games. They only lost by 12 to Gonzaga. They lost to Texas twice. Man. And Texas ended up winning the Big 12 tournament. But it's hard to bet against Kansas at all. So let's go with Kansas on this one. And then Oregon versus VCU. VCU lost the Atlantic 10 Conference Championship game to St. Bonaventure. And then Oregon ended up losing to Oregon State in the Pac-12 tournament. Oh, man, this one's going to be a hard one. You know what? I'm going to go with VCU. And then Grand Canyon University against Iowa. 8-5. Yeah, let's go with Iowa on this one. Okay, now the South region. Already picked Baylor to beat Hartford. North Carolina versus Wisconsin. Man, these 8 and 9 seed games are too close for comfort. I'm going to go with North Carolina on this one. And then the next one is Villanova versus Winthrop. Oh man, 23-1 for Winthrop. I don't even know what conference they're from. Big South, okay. Huh. Like I said, these 12 and 5 seed matches are the ones we usually get the most upsets out of. So I'm going to go with Winthrop on this one to upset Villanova. And then Purdue versus North Texas. I'm going to go with Purdue on this one. And then you have Texas Tech versus Utah State. Texas Tech's a pretty good team. They've beat Texas 2 out of 3 times. They lost to Kansas twice and Baylor twice and Oklahoma State twice. But they're still a pretty good team. Utah State beat San Diego State twice. Yeah, I'm going to go with Texas Tech on this one. And then we have Arkansas versus Colgate. Arkansas beat Missouri 2 out of 3 times, I believe. Yeah, they beat them 2 out of 3 times, including in the SEC tournament. Yeah, I'm going to go with Arkansas on this one. And then we have Florida and Virginia Tech. You know what, I'm going to take the upset on this one as well and go with Virginia Tech. And then we have Ohio State versus Oral Roberts. Yeah, it's going to go with Ohio State on that one. And then the East region, we have LSU against St. Bonaventure. St. Bonaventure won the Atlantic 10 Conference Championship. Man, this is a close matchup for this one. I'm going to take St. Bonaventure on this. And then we have Georgetown versus Colorado. I mean, Georgetown's always a good team in the March Madness. But this is a different team, so I'm going to go... Man, this is a tough one. Yeah, I'm going to go Colorado on this one. And then we have Florida State against UNC Greensboro. Yeesh. Yeah, I'm going to go with Florida State on that one. We have BYU versus Michigan State or UCLA. This one's kind of hard. I'm going to take the upset on this one. And then we have Texas versus Abilene Christian. I'm going to take Texas on that one. And then UConn versus Maryland. UConn's usually a pretty good team. I'm going to take UConn on this one. And then we have Alabama versus Iona. Alabama. And we have Loyola Chicago against Georgia Tech. I'm going to take Loyola Chicago on that one. And then we have Tennessee versus Oregon State. Man, Oregon State won the Pac-12 championship, and they're only ranked number 12. I'm going to go with the upset here and take Oregon State over Tennessee. And then Oklahoma State versus Liberty. Oh, man. I don't think I have a 13 beating a 4 yet. Why not? Take Liberty over Oklahoma State. And then we have San Diego State versus Syracuse. Go with San Diego State on this one. West Virginia versus Morehead State. West Virginia. Clemson versus Rutgers. Go with Clemson over Rutgers on that one. And then Houston versus Cleveland State. Houston on that one. Go back to the round of 32, West region. There's no way Missouri would beat Gonzaga, so Missouri loses. Gonzaga moves on. Virginia versus Creighton. Go with Creighton on that one. And then USC versus Kansas. Let's go with KU on that. And then VCU versus Iowa. Let's take Iowa on that. And then on the South region, man, I can't. There's no way I can bet against Baylor, so Baylor on that one. And then the number 12 seed Winthrop against Purdue. Go with Purdue there. And then Texas Tech versus Arkansas. I'm going to take Texas Tech over Arkansas. And then Virginia Tech versus Ohio State. Oh, boy. Let's go Ohio State on that one. And then St. Bonaventure against Michigan. Michigan's just too good. And then Colorado versus Florida State. I'm going to take Colorado on that one. And then Michigan State or UCLA versus Texas. Take Texas in that one. UConn versus Alabama. Let's take UConn in that. And then Illinois versus Loyola Chicago. Boy. I'm going to go with the upset here and take Loyola Chicago. And then we have Oregon State versus Liberty. I'm going to take Oregon State. And then San Diego State versus West Virginia. Take San Diego State over West Virginia. And then Clemson versus Houston. Houston takes that one. Gonzaga versus Creighton. I gotta have Gonzaga's gonna win that one. And then Kansas versus Iowa. Let's go with Kansas in that one. Purdue versus Baylor. Let's go with Baylor. And then Ohio State versus Texas Tech. Ohio State in that. Michigan versus Colorado. And it's Michigan in that. And then Texas versus UConn. Texas wins that one. Loyola Chicago versus Oregon State. Let's go Loyola Chicago. And then San Diego State versus Houston. Houston wins that one. Gonzaga beats Kansas. Baylor beats Ohio State. Texas beat Michigan. And then go Houston beats Loyola Chicago. And then Gonzaga beats Texas, and then Houston beats Baylor. And then Gonzaga wins the whole entire tournament. I usually fill out like 3 or 4 of these because I love filling these out. Even if I don't win anything at all, and it's usually done by the end of the first game or first wave of games. But that's it for me. If you did like this video, make sure to subscribe. Don't forget to leave a like on the video, leave a comment on the video, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Thank you so much for watching.